Welcome to our webinar today. We are so excited about this topic because UGC is just everywhere right now. And I feel like it's just growing and growing. So I'm so excited to talk about this topic today. Let us know in the chat where you're joining from. It's like one of our favorite things to ask at the beginning because we love to see where everyone is.
Hi, everyone.
Hello. Oh, we got Ohio. Nice.
I feel like we usually get people from the US and Canada, and I'm always so excited to see like new cities I've never heard from, or even new countries that, get added. So that's really cool.
Love it.
Malta. Oh, that's really cool.
Oh, Malta. Nice.
And then
Very
Oakland.
cool. You might win for who's the furthest.
Right? I mean, if you
Love
guys
it.
are joining from that far and like even from the UK and stuff, like I don't know what time it is there, but thank you for spending it with us.
Yes, thank you. I imagine it's late there. So thank you
Right.
very much for spending your evening with us. We love it. All right, well, keep sharing in the chat, and I am going to go over a few housekeeping items. So if this is your very first webinar with us, we are HeyOrca. So my name is Alyssa, and I'm a community manager at HeyOrca. So I work on our newsletter, our webinars, our Facebook, all that good stuff. And I'll pass it to Ketsia.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ketsia, and I'm the social media community manager. Oh my gosh, here at HeyOrca, and I'm super excited to be here. I do all things social media, so if you guys see anyone post and reply to your comments, it's me. And if you see me reply to my own comments, mind your business. I'm just trying to get the comments going. So yeah, that's what I do, and I also do partnerships now. So that's really cool.
That's the best part of being a social media manager is just responding to your own comments and just pretending it's not you.
Right? That's the best part. It's like just hyping yourself up.
Exactly. I love it. And if you want to connect with us on LinkedIn, Jessie, shout out Jessie in the chat, just put our LinkedIn profiles there. So definitely connect with us. Now, in our webinars, if this is one of your first webinars with us, we love to do giveaways. So there are 2 different ways to win today, and you'll be winning some points to our merch store. And actually this week, some more snacks and merch has been added to the store. So we got some fresh items in there that you'll definitely want to take a look at. So the first way to win is head to our Instagram story, and we have a poll on there right now. So this is our poll question on our story. Head over there, vote on the poll, and then we will be randomly selecting somebody who voted. And then the second way to win, this is actually for our HeyOrca customers in the chat. Shout out to everyone out there who is a HeyOrca customer. Let me know in the chat how many folders you have created in your media library. I feel like this is a good question because some people have so many and are so organized, or maybe you just have like 1 or 2. So where are you at? Where are you at with your media library folders? Let me know in the chat.
I have to admit, I have 0. Like, it's a mess there, guys. It's such a mess. I have 0. I probably should organize it, but
that's
it is
all
not
right.
organized.
That's all right, honestly. And I'm about to show our folders to show everyone who may not be a customer. I'll show you how you can organize your content. So to our customers, keep putting the number in the chat, and I am going to quickly show everybody who may not know that media folders exist where you can find it. So I will share my screen. All right, so we're in our calendar here, and I'm going to go to the library off to the side. And then the folders will show up at the very top. So if you want to create a folder, you can go up here to create folder, and it just pops up. You can give it a name, and then you can organize all of your media. So I remember before we had folders, this was one of our top requested features to add. Everyone's like, help me organize my media library. There's so much in there. So super easy to add them, and then you can sort all of your content. And if you are using UGC, this could be a really good way to sort the UGC content from your other social content. So super easy. If you're looking for it, it's in the media library, and then up at the top, you can create a folder. Awesome. So I'm going to stop sharing here.
I wanted to pop in just because, also speaking of UGC, I wanted to share this blog that was posted today by TDG Marketing, which basically is UGC because they created a blog post talking about why they switched to HeyOrca. And we just want to say thank you. That's so sweet. If you guys are here, I'm not sure if you guys are in today's webinar. If you guys are rewatching, we're giving you guys a shout out. But thank you so much for writing this up and giving the webinar good reviews. We appreciate it so much. So thank you.
Yes, thank you. We all got so excited when we saw this. So thank you so much for doing that. That was a great read. Love it. Awesome. All right, so we're going to get right into it today. Let us know in the chat if you have been using UGC. I want to know your tips and tricks and everything like that while we're going through everything. But today we're going to go over why UGC is important. And then we're going to go over paid and organic UGC and the differences between them. And then we have so many examples to show because sometimes it might be hard to think, where can I incorporate this kind of content? But there's a lot of really good examples here that might inspire you. So we'll get right into it. And Amanda says, I have never heard of UGC. This is a perfect segue into the next slide. So we're going to talk about what it is and why it's important. So UGC is user-generated content, and this is original content about your brand that's created by your community. So the people that follow you, they could create a photo, video, maybe a review, and they'll post it online, and that's considered user-generated content. We have a photo here, actually, which was from a while ago. One of our customers tagged us in a video of them using HeyOrca in their workday. So we reposted that video, and then that would be considered user-generated content. So it's kind of all the rage right now, I feel like. It's one of the things that were predicted to really blow up this year, and we saw it really take off last year. So I think this year it's just going to keep growing. So we'll talk about why it's important and why you could start exploring it. So UGC is a great way to connect with your community. So about 56% of social media users think that UGC is actually more trustworthy than content created by a brand, which I actually agree with, especially for, like, when I look at beauty products or anything like that, if I am seeing just a regular consumer saying, hey, I bought this blush and this is what it looks like and I love it and this is why, I'm way more prone to actually buy it from hearing that person say it than the brand post about it. So I fall for that all the time. So I would have to agree with that stat for sure. And it's also a good way to celebrate diversity. So 87% of marketers say that original UGC shows authentic diversity because it doesn't require a brand that's handpicking models or influencers to use. So that's awesome. Stefan says, this is a great stat. Will we have access to the deck? Yeah, so Lyle just responded. So we have all of these stats and everything you're going to see in this presentation in our blog that Lyle just put in the chat. So definitely check that out. There's so many good stats here. So big shout out to Lyle for finding all of this great content. Another reason is it can help you manage your marketing budget. I think this one is a really good one because UGC ads are 50% more cost effective than other forms of advertising. which I feel like is so true. Depending on like what social platforms you maybe pay for ads on, UGC can just be so much cheaper. And it can also drive traffic to your website. So brands that are using UGC on their website see a 50% bump in organic search traffic. Because again, I think people really trust those authentic reviews of your product and different things like that. So, I mean, it makes me go to the website more. So
Yeah,
I think it's true.
yeah, I just want to say because Casey had like a comment saying that do you find that's the same case for a lot of heavily pushed IG Reel ads? I get targeted by those a lot, but I have a hard time believing whether it's naturally prompted or sponsored. And we're gonna get into like paid UGC and organic UGC, but I think based on what Alyssa is saying, like even when you look at UGC, like when it's clothing, right, or when it's makeup, like I want to see someone with like a regular body. Like models, they work out really, really hard to get the bodies that they do. Like some of my friends are models, and the things that they do, I'm like, okay, yeah, I would never do that to, present themselves because it's their job. But I want to see like regular people or someone with my body type wearing a pair of jeans, because I want to see how it would look like. So, or even my height, because I'm tall. And so jeans are always short. And so I feel like, yes, it can still be paid, but you can still see like real people wearing real clothing, and that makes it easier to make a buying decision for yourself, I
Yeah,
think.
I agree with that. Yeah, it's just nice to see like more authentic content, even if it is a paid or sponsored video or anything like that. I still feel like it still has that authenticity in it. And I just like it so much more than a very heavily produced video. A few more stats here. So it can also help shape buying behavior. So 79% of consumers agree UGC highly influences purchasing decisions, which we just talked about. I've fallen for it many times. And to be honest, actually, things that I've bought from like a UGC ad or something I saw on TikTok or Instagram, I actually really liked when I got it. I think it's just because they're showing that true review of the product. It can also help retain community members. So 45% of social media users will unfollow a brand if they're posting too much self-promotion. And that's totally true. If you're following a brand that's just constantly pushing out different promotions, it just might get boring to follow, I feel like, because it's the same things over and over again. And the last stat here, and this one's the craziest stat out of them all, it will help you future-proof your social media strategies. So 70% of all online content will be UGC. I just messed this up. User generated by 2033, and that's kind of crazy when you think about it. 78% of all online content. That's crazy.
But if you think about it, it's like so refreshing because we grew up with like perfect ads, like even like for brushing your teeth or like teeth whitening things, and for like Colgate, all those ads. And then you go on TikTok and you see an ad for like, I forgot, I think the brand is called Smile, and they have like this purple
Oh yeah.
toothpaste, and like it's literally just a regular person just like in their bathroom showing how the product works. But I would buy that product way more than I would ever buy a super produced ad, especially
Mhm.
on TikTok or something. So I think it's super interesting. I think it's great that it's user generated.
Mhm. I think so too. It just I just feel like I'm way more likely to buy something when I'm just seeing like a regular person being like, "Hey, this is the blush and foundation I just bought. This is how it looks on my skin. This is what I like about it, and this is what I don't like about it." I just like hearing the authentic reviews of things, which is great. As you can tell, I have a lot of like beauty UGC all over my TikTok and Instagram because all my examples are makeup. But I feel like that's the ones I see the most for sure.
Same. Also,
Oh, Oh yeah, go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry. I was just gonna say, like, guys, if we don't answer your question right away, it's because it's coming up in the presentation. I promise. We're not ignoring you guys, but we really do. It's coming up. It's coming up.
Yes.
So yes, let's talk about organic UGC because we just saw this question like, how do you reuse UGC? Do you ask for permission? Like, things like that. So this is going to get answered. But let's talk about what the goal of organic UGC is and what it actually is. So usually when we think about organic UGC, right, it's like content that is spontaneously published by the creator, totally separate from a partnership, right? And the great thing about organic UGC is that it builds brand awareness and it grows your community. So if you right now go to Instagram to your favorite brand and you go to the tagged section, all of those things are usually UGC because it's people tagging the product, using the product and everything. And they're not necessarily getting paid, but they're posting about it because they like it enough to post about it. Some of them could be sponsored, but then, it would be disclosed. But that's usually what organic UGC is. And that's one of my favorite types of UGC, I think, is the organic ones. So in order to get UGC, which I think would answer your question, Rebecca, so you can, for example, ask people to literally tag you. So for example, you see Blissy, they say like, tag us to be featured. And they also have a branded hashtag saying Blissy brand. So everyone who like tags them or uses their hashtag, like they basically can sort through it and they can, basically repost them. And I'm assuming if you're tagging them, especially if you say tag us to be featured, then, you're giving permission for them to use it. But most brands are going to comment under your photo and say, hey, can we use this video or can we use this photo before actually posting the UGC? So that's also a great way to get access to it. And then, oh yeah,
Oh,
sorry.
sorry. I was just going to say one quick question before we get into everything. Katie asked, do you think it's okay to use UGC content on professional platforms, kind of like LinkedIn?
Yes. Immediately, yes.
Yes.
I think LinkedIn is getting way less professional. And I think, Katie, I'm not sure if you follow us on LinkedIn. I would say the HeyOrca page. If you look at our UGC, it's super casual. Joey literally just posted a photo of his little newborn. So super casual content, even like the content that we post or repost about the team and everything, or even myself, like Alyssa and I, like we post, Alyssa, Jesse, and I, and everyone on our team, like we post and it's super casual content. Kat posted about the eclipse. So definitely 100%, I encourage you. If you haven't yet, go for it. You have my permission to do it. You have my support. So yeah, I think again, like we had mentioned before, you can ask people to literally use a hashtag, which makes it so much easier for you to sort through the content. Or even if they tag you, it makes it so much easier. Here we're looking at Free People, and their hashtag is when you wear FP. So every time you go through there, you can just find a bunch of UGC content, which is amazing.
I think that's so helpful because then you don't have to go digging for it. It's just search your hashtag and it will all pop up. So easy.
Exactly. So much easier. And then another tip is, testimonials are a great way or a great form of UGC, which I think answers another question in terms of like website UGC. What can you use? You can use testimonials. I think over 72% of consumers won't take action until they've read a positive review. And a good place to start is with Facebook reviews and Google reviews. Here we have Pamela. I think Pamela usually is here at all of our webinars. I'm not sure if she's here today, but if you're here today, hi. You guys all give us such an amazing reviews and we can use it on, we use it on our website, which is really cool. But here's another secret about reviews that maybe you guys don't know or might ask like, okay, but I have 0 reviews. I would like to get reviews and all that stuff. Well, apparently, and that's like a thing that some people do, when you can use influencer marketing or UGC, marketing, whatever you want to get reviews. So, for example, Sephora, whenever they put a product out, they will send products to influencers or creators or people that are part of, like, let's say Sephora Rouge or, like, high VIP members, and they will send their products to them in exchange for a review or testimonial. And that's also a great way to, like, start getting reviews and testimonials, is literally being like, hey, we're sending you this product. Can you give us an honest review on our website? But then don't forget, it has to be disclosed. You can't just, like, exchange it, product for a review and then not disclose it. And if you look on the Sephora website or the Sephora app, it just says, like, oh, this user has been intensified. I'm so sorry. Clearly, English is not my first language. I was trying to sound it out, but you guys know what I mean. Thank you, Jessie. That's the word I was trying to say. Yeah, basically, you have to disclose that you were basically kind of paid to post this review. So, and then another tip is to repost UGC, which is really cool. So anytime you're tagged, make sure to reshare it with your community. Again, if you follow us on LinkedIn, and I highly recommend you do because we have really fun posts there. But if you follow us on LinkedIn, we're constantly reposting your guys' posts that you guys make about us or about the product or even about our webinars, which we love. We always repost it because, one, we just want to amplify what you guys are saying. I think you guys make amazing posts. But two, it also gives HeyOrca more credibility, that we're like a real brand with a real product. There's real users who are using them. So that's also a great tip. Even on stories, Instagram stories, even on TikTok, you can repost now. So yes. And then another thing is encouraging your team to post UGC. But I think now, and I don't know if you know, Alyssa, but now it's called EGC. So employee generated content. That I heard that the other day and I was like, ooh.
Yes, I heard that too. I'm like, oh, love that.
Right? It's such a cool thing. So what was I going to say? Yeah, so EGC or UGC, whatever you want to call it, is really great. You have, that's me right there. And then you have Noelle, who posted about, one of our book programs, which is really cool. And then, I posted about the IRL. I think multiple people posted about the IRL, which is really great. And I'm also reading Haley's comment, how her company, and then the word I can't pronounce, their employees to ask for reviews. Every time a tour guide gets their name mentioned on TripAdvisor in a positive review, the guy gets $50 from the company. That's
Nice.
Amazing. That's amazing.
That's awesome.
Right? And then we also have an example from Chipotle about, I guess, EGC. So let me try and play it for you guys.
I'm at Chipotle HQ, and I'm going to ask everyone how they carne. How do you carne? Just be yourself.
Sorry.
How do you carne?
Definitely tacos. 100% tacos.
A bowl with guac and a ton of cheese, a lot of Chipotle Tabasco.
Carne asada fajita quesadilla. Yeah, we get my lines right.
In a quesadilla.
I like it with white rice, no beans, carne asada, and pico, sour cream, lettuce, guac, all in a burrito.
Carne asada fajita quesadilla.
Crispy tacos, corn salsa, cheese.
Carne asada fajita quesadilla. I'm not good at this, guys. Carne asada tacos with queso. Vodka. It's also good. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. I'm just laughing because I used to work at Chipotle.
I love that.
Yeah, and I was not very good at it. I'm not gonna lie. I was not very good. I would have to mention all of the salsas, and I didn't know any of the salsas, so I would make up names.
I'd love to know some of your made-up salsa names.
I would just mumble things. I would be like make it sound like I was saying something, but I wasn't. And then, I would look at people and gaslight them into thinking I said something. I'm so sorry. That was such a side note, but
that's amazing.
Yeah, that was my thing at Chipotle. But yeah, that's an example of employee generated content. which I love. I always love seeing that. And then another one is, you can host an IRL or a virtual event, such as this one, the webinar, and you can prompt them to post. I usually prompt you guys. I'm like, hey guys, feel free to post and tag us. And we're so lucky that you guys do. But 96% of millennials who attend experiential marketing events, whether it's in person or virtual, will take pictures or videos to share online. So they're already taking the pictures. Just ask them to tag you, and then it's just amazing. So you can just reshare it and amplify it again. So thank you so much. If you guys are planning on posting after this webinar, no pressure. It's amazing. We love seeing it, and we always share it with the team as well.
Yes, we love it because then it shows us that the topic we just talked about was a good one. So if you like the topics, definitely let us know.
Right? Like I just love it, especially when they do like their takeaways, like things that they learned and stuff. Like I'm just like, whoa, you guys learned something. That's so cool. I mean, obviously we're doing this to like learn together, but it's always great to see it written out as well.
Yes, agreed.
I'm trying to see. I'm seeing like Chipotle orders. I will save that for when I'm in Toronto. And I'm not sure if there's any questions, but if there aren't,
I think we are good on questions.
Okay, amazing. So we can jump right into paid UGC as well, which, paid UGC is usually when a creator will publish their content directly on a brand's social channels, or even just for ads, because sometimes ads aren't posted on the channels themselves. They're ran separately, and they will be compensated or paid for that work. So they're literally hired to create UGC. And usually there's like a script involved and talking points and stuff like that. And then it gets posted on the socials of, the brand in question. But the idea or the goal of paid UGC is to generate a direct response or conversion. So you're literally just trying to convert people to buy into your product. I would love to see some B2B examples. The ones that we showed you in terms of HeyOrca is mainly B2B. So I think that's a great starting point. But I would also, if you want more B2B examples in terms of UGC and stuff like that, I would look at platforms like, I'm trying to not name any competitors. But I would look at HubSpot. I think they're really good with UGC. I'm trying to name like people who aren't. Okay, I'm going to name some competitors. I hope it's not bad, but I'm going to say Later. I think they're really good with UGC as well when it comes to B2B. What other brands? If I can come up with any, but I think those ones are really good in terms of B2B.
Oh, someone says GoPro, which is interesting because I think we have an example.
Yes,
we do. That leads very nicely.
Plot is also a really good one, which Christina is the one who's the social media manager, and she's such an amazing creator as well. If you guys follow her, please do. She makes amazing content, but Plot is one of my favorites as well in terms of B2B. So in terms of paid UGC examples, you can also host, a contest or offer an incentive. Oh, wow, I said it right this time, to collect UGC. So for example, we're just talking about GoPro. They offer cash prizes to their users who post POV videos of their ski and snowboarding adventures. I don't think we have the video.
Oh yeah, I'll attach the Instagram post in the chat. I don't think it copied over right, but I'll grab the link and I'll put it in the chat.
Exactly, so you guys can watch it. But again, GoPro is really good, apparently with their marketing. And then another one is to just partner with UGC creators. So paid UGC partnerships are usually they're taking over social media. Let's be real. We're seeing them everywhere. I see like creators I follow and suddenly they're like in a UGC ad for like a brand, which is really cool. But UGC ads generate a click-through rate that is 400% higher than traditional ads. And look, I'm not good at math, but that's high. That's a lot. 400% is a lot. So
That's a
again,
crazy percent higher.
right? It's not just like that's like a crazy amount. I don't know if you guys know of Merit Beauty, but they do a lot of like UGC kind of things. I think another brand is oh, I forgot the name, the jewelry brand. I think they're owned by the same company.
Missouri.
Yeah, Majuri is
I
also
see
really
them a lot.
big. I actually did UGC for them for a little bit, so that's a fun fact.
Nice.
So
Very
they're really
nice.
good with their UGC as well. And then this best steps in order to partner with UGC creators and stuff. If you've never done it, I think this will quickly kind of explain to you how to do it. But the number one thing to do is to identify your ideal customer profile. And we had a webinar about this last week. If you guys want to watch, it was hosted by one of our creators, Emma. She's amazing. I literally rewatched that webinar after because it was so insightful. So before you reach out to any creators, you want to be really, really clear about who you want to attract to your community and what kind of creator is going to help you succeed. And my tip in terms of like having an idea of who it is, literally create a fake person. Create a fake person, give them like a profile picture, give them a name, a backstory, everything. Be crazy about it. But that really helps. And also, like, what aesthetic do they like? You know, what kind of content would they consume? And based on the content that they would consume, you would create UGC for that kind of person, I think would be, you know, amazing. And then you create a list of creators you want to work with. So in order to find creators, and that's the one thing I would say that is really hard is finding UGC creators. It's so hard. I don't know why, but it is. You have to search relevant hashtags on socials, check freelancing websites such as Upwork, TikTok Creator Marketplace, or a UGC content bank like Gridbank. Shout out to Gridbank. They're like the founder, Laura. She's amazing, super sweet. But yeah, I think Gridbank is also really great because it's just a marketplace of UGC where you can just put your videos together. But another tip, and that's not written on there, but I will tell you guys, is Twitter. Twitter has such a big UGC community. I promise you, you post on Twitter and you let them know that you're looking for UGC creators, they're all flocking. They're all flocking together and they're going to, you know, apply. So 1000% would say try and check out Twitter. They have a really big UGC community. And then the third step would be review the creator's portfolio. So, for example, and that's my personal tip, but if you're looking for a very specific kind of content, make sure that that creator has created that kind of content before. Don't just guess that they might be able to do it, because 9 times out of 10, you're going to be disappointed. I'm sorry. Don't force someone to do, you know, content that they're not used to doing, because it's just not great. I'm looking at the question by Laura. Are brands still concerned with safety on X? Don't put out like obviously like super. I think like when I see UGC ads for brands, they never give names. They're very vague about it. They're just like, were you looking for UGC creators between the ages of this and that for a lifestyle brand? That's it. They're not saying like, for example, HeyOrca is looking for UGC. Like they're never giving out brand names. They're never giving out specifics. They're just very vague. But I think you can start building a bank or a list of creators that way. And then you have to provide the creator with a detailed brief. So when I say detailed, like if you have content examples, give them content examples, right? Because at the end of the day, people aren't in your head and they can't see what you have envisioned. So the best way to do it is always to give content examples. If there are specific shots that you like, take screenshots of it. Be like, hey, I really like this shot, or I really like this video for XYZ reason. Also give them, talking points. So for example, if you're a product-based business or like whatever kind of business, you probably have specific like messaging or things that you would like to highlight, you know? So for example, we're HeyOrca, we're a scheduler, right? And we were like a scheduler built for teams. So maybe we want to have that specific word put in there, like scheduler built for teams, or like, collaboration, like little words and stuff that they would have to put into their scripts, because usually UGC creators write the scripts themselves, or you could write it yourself and send it over to someone. But I think giving them that creative liberty is better.
We have a question here from Katie. So how do you do this for non-tangible products? My company's product is credentials and exams for counselors.
You can still create UGC, because if you really think about it, like websites and stuff like that, like most SaaS products and stuff, like they're not tangible products necessarily. They're a software, right? So I would still utilize UGC, but instead maybe they can show the website, right? Or they can showcase the certificates, or like what kind of courses that they have. So for example, another one that's really good is like what's it called? Like maybe, is it Coursera? Is it called Coursera? Or like
Yeah.
Skillshare?
Mm-hmm.
I would say look at examples like Skillshare, Later, all those people that do like non-tangible products or apps and stuff for inspiration, because those are still really good examples.
Amy says, any suggestions for travel destinations, small and off the beaten path, how to find UGC partners? I see a lot of travel creators like on TikTok and on Instagram. I think partnering with creators like that could be really good. And then just getting them maybe to promote different locations, like a hotel, maybe in like a small off the beaten path type town, different things like that. But I follow a few, and it seems like they always have partnerships with like hotels, or maybe like an activity or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. I 100% agree. There's like creators that specialize in like travel content, and they get flown out to places to literally just create content for Airbnbs or, anything really travel related. Yes, I think that's it. But and then I think the last step is you have to measure your campaign's success. So obviously before every campaign, we have KPIs, you have objectives. What did you learn with working with that creator? What are things that you would change or improve or do differently next time? I think it's always important to be able to improve. And also, like, for example, usually, okay, and this is like a side note, but usually when you have UGC videos, you do A/B testing. So you might have like multiple versions of the same video. So you might kind of see like, okay, this kind of video performed the best. So next time we'll focus on refining this kind of video. So I think that's like a great, a great way to look at your campaigns.
We have a question here. Why they trust and why they went with your brand is a good testimonial for UGC, correct? Yes. So I think if you want to start getting into UGC, I feel like reviews and testimonials are a really great way to start. Because like you can grab that from Facebook, Google, other review websites. I think that's a really great way to kind of get your foot in the door with UGC. So if someone was talking about why they trust your brand, if they say it's okay for you to take that review and maybe you could put it in an ad or you could put it in a social post, I think that would be awesome.
Right. I know that Haley was talking about healthcare. And I think that's really good. I think I feel like with healthcare, it's a little bit different because, it's a little bit more intense, like than buying a lipstick. You're like putting your health out there. But I think just seeing behind the scenes from the team and like explaining certain things, I think works better, because I feel like in healthcare, as a doctor or healthcare professional, you already have that trust. You know what I mean? Like you already have this kind of, if a doctor tells me like, this is what you're supposed to do, like I believe them. Like who am I to tell a doctor that they're not? So I feel like you guys have this advantage of already having trust because of the role and the years of study that you guys have put in order to, be able to be a practitioner. How would you?
Oh, sorry. I was just going to go ahead.
I think we were reading the same question.
Yeah.
How would you showcase a testimonial? By Samantha.
I feel like you could showcase it in a lot of different ways. You could do it as a social post. You could use it in an ad if they said that was okay. That's another thing about ads. And I've seen people have issues with this before. If you take someone's like UGC video and put it in your ad, but don't ask them, that can cause some legal problems. And I've seen some fashion brands do that. So that's just a side note when talking about ads. But you could do it in a video. You could highlight it on your website. Like we have that on our newsletter page. So you can really put testimonials anywhere where you would want to build trust with your audience.
Yeah. Speaking of newsletters, actually, I've seen newsletters put reviews. So for example, they might want to link to a resource or something. They will put a review of that specific resource by someone in their newsletter. So you can really post it anywhere, really.
Yeah. Put it wherever you want.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, I think that was the last question. And I know we have a few minutes left. So I do want to make sure I get to our giveaway winners. But thank you so much, everyone, for all of these questions. We loved it. And I feel like this is a topic we could probably dive into again. So if you liked it, let us know. And we can always revisit this topic in the future. And so I have our winners here for our giveaways. So on Instagram for the poll, our winner is Cooper Kosh. So Cooper, congratulations. You are our Instagram winner. And then our HeyOrca customer winner is Kristen Bussard. And you're very lucky, Kristen, because I think you've won in the past as well. So congratulations. So I'll be reaching out to the both of you after this, and we'll definitely get you your merch store points.
Yay. Yes, Yay. Again.
And then Amy says, yes, a good start, but a deeper dive would be great. Awesome. We will remember that. We will put it in our idea bank when we are creating more webinars in the future. And I do want to shout out next Thursday, we have a webinar all about copywriting for social. And we're going to have our copywriter Lyle on with us. We're very excited because she is just a mastermind with copywriting. Right. So I'm going to put the link to that in the chat. If you want to sign up for that, it's going to be a great one. Put it here. And then Lyle says, if you have any copywriting questions, please send them to us on Instagram because we do want to make sure we cover all of the areas you want to hear about copywriting. But very excited for that one.
Yes, me too. I wish I had I can't even talk. Lyle's brain into AI. And then I could just write all I wanted.
I know.
Every single time.
She is a pro. So you'll all see that next week. You'll see how much of a pro she is. And yes, that webinar will be recorded. As long as you are registered for our webinar, you'll receive a recording the next day.
Yeah. Otherwise, you have to wait till next week to have it on YouTube.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. And hopefully we see you next week.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.